So go get a job isn't always the answer because it's not easy. And I had a director stand in front of my face and say, I'm not giving you the job that's available because I know you're going to use it as a stepping stone and come after my job. And I had stood in line at a job fair in heels for 4 hours just
In the middle of summer.
in the middle of summer in the Florida heat, just to be told that from her. And I literally was like, I promise you, I'm here. I'm in a different phase of my life. I think, did we have Adriana yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. But I was like, I'm hungry in a different way at this point. I don't want your job, lady. I have a husband that I love. I want a blended life. I want to do my job, go home, and leave my job at work. Welcome to the Life by Design podcast. I'm your host, Kim Ward, a certified master life and business coach, NLP practitioner, and your guide to building a life and business that you absolutely love. Here, we're all about empowering family-focused entrepreneurs to design a leveraged business that supports your dreams, your values, and most importantly, your family. Each episode, we'll dive into practical strategies, mindset shifts, and powerful insights to help you create unstoppable momentum and lasting success without sacrificing what matters most. Whether you're looking to grow your business or get unstuck or align your goals with your lifestyle, you're in the right place. So let's get intentional, let's get inspired, and let's design a life you love by design. Let's dive in. If you've ever been in debt, then you know the pressure, the weight, the stress. We don't have to tell you that. In today's episode, we have a way, a solution, and a fantastic conversation. We don't know what direction we're headed, but we do know that we can help you live that debt-free lifestyle. Today, Rich and I are joined by a very good friend of ours, a fabulous client of ours, Julie Ostmeyer. What's up, girl?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always good to see you guys.
Listen, we're really, really excited to have you. Rich and I were talking last night before this episode, and we thought, coming into a new year, one of the top 3 resolutions for people in America is always to clean up their finances. And debt-free is a very big part of that. My husband hates the word debt. He's already cringing. And I was explaining to you last night kind of our situation in terms of how we work, how we built the house, and how we're in the lifestyle that we are now. So, babe, I want to bring you into the conversation because when we were building our house, you kind of developed or adopted the Dave Ramsey system. And we worked together like a fabulous team to get that done. So what was that like from your perspective?
Well, once you got done giving me a dirty look like, what are you doing? What we did, we decided to take envelopes.
And I give dirty looks?
Well, you kind of were like, what? I mean, at first you kind of were. And we decided, we started writing down information on envelopes like electric. How much was it going to cost to do electric? How much was it going to cost to do the plumbing? How much was it going to cost to do excavation, to do every step of the way? And I would estimate roughly what we thought it would cost. And for the most part, we were dead on. We had the envelopes out, and once we paid for once we paid, I swear I can talk. Once we paid to have the land cleared, then we went to the next envelope and to the next one. And as we went through the process, we were spending the money, obviously, in the envelopes, but we were putting forward ahead, and we were able to pay for the entire house cash as we went.
So, I want to talk about this first before we talk about Julie's side of the world, because Julie, what you have to offer today was not available for Rich and I when we were really experiencing this season of our life. He was still active duty in the fire service. And babe, you picked up literally every single overtime shift that you possibly could. We had I think Adriana was a toddler at the time.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
quite a newborn. She was a toddler, which means daddy was gone for 48, sometimes 72 hours, and then I owned a residential cleaning business at the time that I picked up every single job I could. And I remember Rich and I talk about this now, but there were times where I was literally cleaning people's toilets and I would just put my head down and I would cry because I thought it has to be better than this. But again, in a different podcast episode, we touched based on I am that person that will always do whatever I have to do for my family, but I knew there was a better way. However, the sacrifices that we both made were able to make this kind of stress-free life possible because a few years, I mean, maybe actually a few months after our house was built and we moved in, we had a global pandemic.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have been able to do the things that we did.
No.
So Julie, welcome to the conversation.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you help families really live that debt-free lifestyle.
You talk about, I came from the era when if you needed money, your parents would say, just go get a job, go get a job. And you traded that time for your money. And when the shift, when you kind of introduced me to the shift that you could start working passively and creating that leverage in the background to where you're still trading some of your time, but you're creating it to where it's working in the background for you, to where you're not just constantly cranking out, spending all your time at work. And, like you said, Rich would be gone for 24, 48, 72 hours. He's losing all that time with his daughter and he's losing all that time with you. So, doing a debt-free lifestyle with the passive income, with the affiliate marketing, to where you can leverage it to where it's working for you in the background. You can choose to do it as a side hustle. You can choose to do it full time. That's the beauty of it. It's flexible. It's like today I can go do my things with my family and I can sit down and work when I want to work and I can fit it into the nooks and crannies of my life. And it blends seamlessly. And like you said, coming into the new year, there's the post-holiday debt. I remember looking at the credit card statements going, how many months is it going to take me to pay this off? So it's just that the weight on my shoulders was just lifted, knowing that I could create this extra income on the side, get rid of some of that stress. And it's been a total game changer for our family.
I love that. And I love watching your journey because like I said, now Rich and I, and really Adriana, we've experienced both sides of that. If we look back in our camera roll, truth be told, Rich will get nostalgic sometimes and we'll scroll way back. And most of her peanut life is you and her talking through FaceTime when you're at the fire department. And I didn't want that. I remember one time you were called out on, oh gosh, I don't even know what it was. But Julie, as a mom, when we have the babies and our hormones are kind of raging, the imagination goes away with us. It was very rare that I couldn't get in touch with Rich when he was on shift. And there was a time where 6 hours went by and I couldn't contact my husband. And those hormonal thoughts were raging. And I thought, oh Lord, please do not let the sheriff's office knock on my door and say, Mrs. Ward. And that in my gut, that's the moment I knew we've got to do something. And I mean, he loved his career. He loved being a first responder. I mean, you could talk for yourself. I don't have to talk for you.
No, you're absolutely right. But go ahead.
No. I mean, from your perspective, knowing, my wife is at home, my daughter's at home, I have to pick up this OT because like Julie said, get a job. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't just go pluck it.
No, and I think that's, as Americans, and I say that loosely because I'm sure other countries have the same thing. We're so used to buying, and putting it on credit and doing all these things. And you wind up trading, like you said, time for money. And at a certain point, all the things that you've bought are useless. I mean, you don't ever use them again, or you got stuff that you really didn't need. So you're sitting there banking all this material stuff and you're giving up time to be with your family. It's a total different feeling to know that you don't have to worry about making a house payment or making car payments or making all these payments. It's a level of stress I think we become numb to and accept. And one day when you don't have that anymore, then you start realizing, holy crap, my life is different. It's totally different. It that stress level is not there. And then all of a sudden you realize, I don't need all these ridiculous items. I don't need to spend money. So getting things paid off and becoming debt free is just, it's amazing feeling. And you can't understand it till you are at that point where you don't have that anymore.
And that lack of stress changes you as a person. It changes how you respond in your relationships, your day-to-day relationships. So for us, you know, Julie, you talked about like post-holiday debt. I will tell you right now, Rich and I do not exchange gifts. We never have, we never do, we never will, because if we want something, we're not pretentious, we're not bougie, but we will go out and buy what we need and what we want. We are not going to buy into like the Hallmark side of the holidays where we just go accumulate tons of debt to exchange gifts that were like, great, thanks, babe, you know, or I could have bought this already. You know what I mean? I mean, his birthday is Valentine's Day, for crying out loud. We don't do that. And I'm looking over behind his shoulders, and he's got family pictures of us standing in London in front of the Tower Bridge and in the Bahamas on a cruise. And these are the things, these are the memories that we're able to make because of the choices we made. I'm bringing you out today because people don't have to make the hard decisions that we did. People do not have to sacrifice the way that we did. So we know why it's important to Rich and I, but Julie, why is this so important to you?
You know, not too many years ago, I guess, you know, really when, you know, the world shut down, I was still working the 9 to 5 in town, and all three of my kids are very athletically inclined. You know, we've played a lot of sports, and I can remember sitting at work, not being able to go to a game because I didn't have enough PTO hours, didn't have enough stuff, didn't have enough hours built up. And that, as a mom, sitting at work, knowing that I was trading my time, but I was missing out on my family events, just really tugged at my mama heart. And I just kept telling myself, there's got to be a better way. And I just kind of started this search, just trying to open my eyes to see what else was available. And now I'm at the point in my life, you know, my kids are out of school, my two youngest daughters are in college. But with this lifestyle, I can meet my kids where they're at in their life. I can go and meet them at college. I can run to Hayes and take my daughter out for sushi and Starbucks if that's what we want to do.
Exactly.
Talking
Yeah.
my language.
Yes. Or I can go to Oklahoma for a weekend and take in 2 games of my daughters, or I can go help on the family farm since my son took it over. Because if I'm going to wait until my kids come home for the weekend and for the holidays, I'm going to be missing out on a lot, and I'm going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah.
So being able to mold this lifestyle around my family was the most important thing to me. And so when I found passive income and affiliate marketing, you know, and everything that we've, you know, been through, you've watched me grow through the whole process. It's just you can't get back your time. That's one thing you can't get back. And so I don't want to waste that by I'm chasing the dollar. I want to be able to make memories and to make money and have it blend seamlessly and work all together.
It's really important that, you know, we talk about that side, because opening a business sometimes, at least in America, is easier than finding a job. First and foremost, that's the first part, the point I want to make. When Rich and I decided I was going to relocate geographically in order to pursue this relationship and this marriage, I walked away from a corporate career that I absolutely loved it. I was a clinical lab manager and I had a healthy ego. So I left New England without a job lined up. And I knew with all respect, that Florida was like the geriatric capital of the world at the time, let's face
Right.
it, that I wouldn't have a difficult time finding a job. And Rich, as my witness, I was constantly told that I was overqualified. I was told that I had to dumb down my resume. And I worked from the age of 18 at the time as a single mom to get my degree, to get my certifications, to build the resume that was as impressive as it was. And I couldn't get a job for the life of me. It never worked out that way. So that's why I ended up going to the Secretary of State website, paying the whatever, however much money it was, and opening a business. But here's where people get lost. You can create a business, especially a home-based business, and still trade time for money. When we moved to
Absolutely.
Tennessee, Rich and I were able to sell our cleaning business for a profit. And we marketed that thing so well that 5-6 years after I sold it, I'm literally still getting calls to my cell phone for people asking me for cleanings. And I'm like, I sold that business 5 years ago, but my number's out there. So having this home-based business, Rich retired. And I told everyone he's not a stay-at-home dad. He's not a work-at-home dad. He is a do whatever the heck he wants dad. But Julie, I buried myself in work, trading time for money. And I've got this big, beautiful, what I'll call like a bay window in my office. And I'd watch while I'm on these Zooms, and I'd watch my husband and my daughter have s'mores by the fire and ride ATVs and catch fireflies. And I'm like, what's missing from this picture? It was me. So I really want to talk about your solution because it's different, right? You've
Yeah.
mentioned like affiliate marketing and some done for you, but I want to know for the person who's like, well, what is that? Can I do that? What's required of me to do that? I want you to really tell us what this looks like.
Right. So the done for you business model was really attractive to me because 95% of it is done for you. It's a step in. It's very easy to sign up. You fill out your short form, you fill out your profile the way you want paid, and like everything's done for you. So it's basically what I call a business in a box, where as soon as you sign up, you already have a full team behind you supporting you. You've got somebody doing your email marketing. You've got somebody doing your digital graphics and content creation. Um, you've got somebody product sourcing and updating your website every day. And I've owned a Shopify business previously. And when you have to do all of that on your own, you're going to find yourself just like you were sitting here looking out the bay window. Say, I don't have time to be there, because it takes discipline. And when I found this business model, um, it was life-changing for me. It's a very, I don't know what people think it would cost to pay to have a completely staffed team behind you, fully done business, and all you have to do is share the product. And a lot of the products have what they call master resale rights. You can continue just to sell those. Like, we leverage Pinterest. You can put those products on Pinterest, and they're selling for you in the background. So a very low, minimal, one-time lifetime fee that you'll never have to pay again. You don't ever have to pay another monthly website fee. You don't have to pay for your email marketing platform. You don't have to pay for somebody to create those emails and market your product. It was really a no-brainer for me. I just it changed our family dynamic. It was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Where was this when we were brand new parents, Rich?
I know, right?
I think it's a hard shift. We're kind of in that period where I always laugh and say we came from a very German township, and it's very hard to get Germans and farmers to change their mindset. So they come from the area, they're gonna go out sweat and blood and tears working the land. And and when my son took over the farm, it was very hard for my dad even to adjust into the new way of farming. And I feel that's the same way we're going with the job the job front. You're trading going to work at the 9 to 5, and there's that shift coming in of doing it passively,
Mhm.
and where you can mold it around your lifestyle. And so for me, it took a little while to kind of grasp the whole idea of it. But then when I started to experience the result of it, that whole weight just came off of my shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. So the person listening, they're like, okay, I'm intrigued. Like,
Mhm.
what's then required of me to be successful at this?
So, but this business model, they hand feed you content for you to share. It's all done for you. You can go in and tweak it if you want to, but they hand it to you on a platter. They tell you, you know, I hang out on Facebook a lot. It kind of depends on where you hang out the most. I leverage Facebook and Pinterest. And I just share with people why I like this, how I think it could benefit them. Um, the business model, there's a ton of different products and a ton of different niches. There's everything from mom life to realtors to anybody in the self-care and health and beauty industry. There's stuff in there for travel agents. I mean, it's just
Men.
sometimes when you get in there, it can be overwhelming, but really, if you just want to choose one product and focus solely on one product and that's all you sell, run with it.
Yeah. People make recommendations for food and for restaurants all the time because
Yes.
that's super low barrier. And, why are we so reluctant to get out there and offer something when we know, ooh, we might make some money, right? People will know I'm going to make money by recommending this. Rich and I spoke on our last podcast episode about side hustles and the fact that almost everybody in fire service, even them, as great as their salary is, they all had side hustles as well, right? And so
Oh yeah.
different reasons, whether it was to become debt free or to build a house cash or to travel more, whatever that looks like. Uh, Julie, you just happen to kind of hone in on your specific niche, if you will, is really helping these families break free from that debt cycle and those debt chains that are keeping them unhealthy and stressed out and all of that, and having an option where truly it is plug and play, and you get to show up, be yourself, make those offers and the recommendations, and you're going to earn 70% commission. And
Yes.
a lot of affiliate marketers and a lot of, internet marketers, they would foam at the mouth for that number because it's unheard of. But because this is digital, the company is able to do something like that, right?
Yeah. I asked my daughter yesterday, I'm trying to train my daughters to kind of get into this mindset because, I don't know what's coming in the world for them. And I asked her, I said, how are you monetizing your life? And when I first heard the word monetize, I'm like, I think I know what that means, but I'm not 100% sure. And it's basically taking what you're already using in your life, recommending it, and why not be earning money from that? I mean, why not be taking advantage of something? I have a friend that we're constantly, did you try this? Did you try this face cream? Did you try this? We're talking products all the time. And I have my digital friends. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see this digital planner? What I really want people to know is that you don't have to make it hard. It can be scary stepping into something new. That's the beauty of this. We have, you come into the program, you're just not like, here you are, and we leave you. We've got weekly trainings. We've got guest events that you can invite people to. And the business really, you get them to a guest event and they sell it for you. So you're basically just out there sharing it, sharing what you love to do.
What's easier than that? I mean, truthfully,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
easier than
exactly.
that? I was thinking, just the concept of monetizing your life, it's a very different concept when you're not used to that. Rich and I used to use a food delivery service, I'll call it. I'm not going to say which one because they're not sponsoring this podcast. However, the meals would be delivered to our house and we would then cook them. And even something like that had what they called a referral link. So they're like, hey, if you're enjoying our service, recommend this to a friend and you'll get whatever X amount of meals free or a $50 credit. If you really start to pay attention, things like your banking system, things like your credit cards, things like I mean, it doesn't matter. Pretty much everything you do has what they call that referral link, which is affiliate marketing.
Mhm.
Rich's buddy texted him the other day asking for, I forget what it was. And Rich is like, hey, that's available on Amazon. Let me send you the one that I recommend. And knowing that we have our Amazon influencer storefront, Rich was able to go into Amazon, grab our associates link and text it to his friend.
Mhm.
And it's like, this is the world, this, at least our world. And we're really big on monetizing your life, because when you see how easy or simple it can be to open up other streams of income without increasing the necessary bandwidth or without losing your sanity and causing more stress, it's a game changer.
Mhm.
So I
You know,
love that you're sharing this.
yeah, you've trained me well. So just 2 days ago, I went and ordered a new coffee. And the first thing I did, man, scroll to the bottom of the website, see if there's an affiliate. Can you become an affiliate for this coffee? I got it. I tried it. I loved it. I signed up. Took me literally 2 minutes to sign up. Here's your link. Within the next day, I shared it and had a sale. Just bang, right away. It's literally that easy. Um, it's mind blowing. Yeah,
I love that.
You know,
yeah.
if you have a profession that you're around people, different people all the time, and you're constantly moving around, whether going to see people or people coming to see you, you've already gotten the avenue to talk about things. So you're not changing anything. You're not doing anything extra. You're just adding to what you've already are making in life. So
Yeah,
it's really simple for a lot of people that have the careers that involve talking to people and being around people. It's amazing. It's a good concept.
Even
actually,
as moms, it's, when our kids are little, you have this whole mom circle.
Mm.
We were in sports, we had the circle of the sports families. You're around them all the time. And we're recommending products and hey, my kid liked this, and hey, I like
Sure.
this. It's just you're already naturally sharing. So why not be benefiting from that?
Get
You're
paid for it.
helping them, you're helping yourself, and you're also introducing it to them as, do you even realize this possibility is here? And do you realize that you could be making money while you're doing it?
Right.
I love that. You are a trusted advisor, so to speak, because you've got a little bit of influence in your niche and your circles.
Mhm.
And a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm not an influencer. You don't have to be an influencer. Just those circles that you're both talking about, you have enough influence and trust within your circles, which means if you're hearing this podcast, you are going to be able to reach people that Rich never can, that I never can, that Julie never can. And that's why we share these things. We shop a lot at Tractor Supply. We've got goats, we've got chickens, Tractor Supply. Every store that you could possibly look at has those affiliate programs. And it's just a completely different world. So Julie, how do they get started with you? And once they do, what does the next steps look like? What does that journey look like?
So they basically, I can send you a link. You can just basically sign up for one of our programs. You have a couple different options. If you're a little unsure, you can kind of dip your toe in for a very low monthly fee. Or if you're like me, who wants all the extra bonuses and you just want to dive in, head first, you can sign up and do pay the one-time lifetime fee. And at any time, even if you choose the low monthly fee, you can always upgrade to the one-time fee. But basically, once you sign up, you're going to get an email saying, fill out this application. It's basically a 2-minute application. Within literally, you're going to have your store set up within 24 hours. And you basically log into your dashboard. You fill out your profile information and you fill out how you want paid, and you're ready to go. And I offer people, if it's something, it's brand new, sometimes it's new things are scary. I am more than willing to lock arms with them, jump on a Zoom with them, and let's look at your back office. Let's look at the training hub. Let's look at the affiliate dashboard and walk them through so they know exactly how to maneuver around the system. And like I said, then we have weekly trainings, group trainings within the company. They have the weekly guest events to help you, get your feet on the ground and running, get people there, and they'll sell for you. So it's really, it's basically clicking a link and buying a product and answering an email. It's really not hard at all.
And when you talk about this one-time fee, I mean, Rich and I were approached by a very, very big insurance company. They saw that, I had a bachelor's degree and that we're entrepreneurial, which means that we're a little crazy and we're risk takers. So they approached us to see if we'd be willing to go through the rigmarole of launching a brick and mortar business here in our county. Remember how uncomfortable that got when they started asking us questions about what's your husband's retirement check? How much do you guys have in your retirement funds and 401ks? And how much would you be willing to risk? And we're like, whoa, Nelly, slow your roll. So when you're talking about a one-time fee, we're literally talking less than $500, right?
Yes, yes. You don't have the overhead cost of renting a building. You don't have the cost of electric. You don't have the cost of heat and air. You don't have the cost of paying your employees. It's literally an online business in a box that's there. We're just waiting for you to take advantage of it.
That's awesome. You get paid weekly.
Yes.
And there are things that are faith-based and there are things for men. And we're starting to plug into those things and use some of those more masculine done for you content pieces for Rich's Pinterest account to supplement all the videos that he's been cranking out.
Mm-hmm.
So there really is something for everybody.
Yeah. You and I've talked about it. You came into my world through Pinterest, and when most people just start to figure all this out and they're starting to do their marketing, most people are leery about being on camera. When you first start recording videos, you're like, you can hear your heart pounding in your ears and you're breathing. It's like, erase that one and start over. And Pinterest is faceless, has always been faceless since the inception. This company offers, if you want to, training on faceless, accounts. They do faceless marketing for you. It's really, it's a great way to dip your toe in, and it's like a learn on the job training. You can take it as far as you want to go, or like I said, you can, Rich could choose the men's line and that could be the only thing he could promote.
Yep.
You can make it as small or as expansive as you want to.
I love that. Oh, I'm excited. I geek out on these conversations.
I know, me too.
I know you do.
You both said the same exact thing at the same exact time. You know what? Like I said, there's no excuses anymore. It's a different world we're living in. And I don't mean to put like a age stamp on the three of us, but we really are in that transitional generation of we've seen where we came from and the sacrifices that had to be made. And we just don't have those constraints and barriers when it comes to making money, growing our influence, becoming debt-free, and really, truly, again, not to be corny, but creating your life by design. Mm-hmm. It's possible. And Julie, we talk about this a lot. It's just one good decision after another. And friends, you're listening to this. If you feel that stress, you know what that feels like. You know what it feels like to wake up in the middle of the night because the brain won't shut off and you have anxiety and it's up in your throat and you're just like, I don't know what to do because I don't have the time to go get a second or third job. I don't have the opportunity to do X, Y, Z. Now you do. And that's exactly why we wanted to have this conversation. So Julie, I'm very excited to say that your opportunity link is in the show notes. So friends, click that link and explore what that looks like. I know you gave me a coupon code that will give them a little discount as well.
Yes, I think it's Julie 43, and we'll put those in the show notes as well. And you can get a 20% discount. It's not on every item in the store, but there's, the majority of the items you will get that discount as well. And also you can do a search. We love spoiling our people. There's a ton of freebies in there as well. So if you just go on the search bar and type free, there's going to be a whole bunch of products that pop up that you don't have to pay for. So if you kind of want to get your feet wet and kind of get a taste for it, go purchase one of those and for free and just take a look at it and see if it's for you.
Love that. Julie's
Yeah.
got some really good coaches teaching her some really strong marketing skills.
Yes, I do.
To have that support within you, for you to lock arms with people who join you and really you help them understand and take this opportunity to the next level is pretty cool. Where can people learn more about you? Where can they come to kind of stalk you and check you out?
Well, they can check me out on Facebook. We can drop that link in there as well. And then I do a lot of heavy marketing on Pinterest as well. I mean, you've made me a Pinterest geek, so I love it.
My tiara and my coronation ceremony pretty soon. But
there you go. Yep.
all right. So, I mean, there's no excuses. Get yourself debt free. It's 2025. It's a new year. There's so many great opportunities. And again, you saw through today's conversation that you don't have to be an influencer. You already have the influence and you're already that trusted advisor within your circles. Rich certainly was in his, Julie is in hers, I am in mine. And that means you are able to reach people that we can't and never will. Anything you guys want to add?
Really, just the only thing, you said something to me once about when you were born, God made you this specific puzzle piece and you have this specific purpose in life that you fit in this specific part of the puzzle. And I think people just need to open their mind a little bit and to think about that and just say, they may not think they have something to offer, but I promise you, you do.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you on the next episode. Share this with a friend who wants to be debt-free. Bye for now. And hey, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. And as always, friends don't let friends grow and develop alone. So share this episode with someone you love and care about. We'll see you in the next episode.